Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of Free For All, the time that RWF brings you the greatest action in virtual professional wrestling straight into your eyeballs. I am Sam Roberts, and I'm joined as always by twitch.tv/Totana, and we're starting off with a bit of a match for it.
Yeah, we're starting off with Jeff Hardy and one half of Breezango, the pretty himself, making his first entrance into RWF.
Is it my eyes? When you look at me, they are so gorgeous, they'll set you free. Could it be my walk, or just my stare, that makes
the man that attacked him 5 weeks ago at our first Patreon preview event, Level 1. I'll remind you, ladies and gentlemen, our second Patreon preview event, Winter Plunderland, coming on December 12th, as you saw from that video earlier. We can see Fandango on the outside of the ring, watching, waiting, taking in the matchup. Perhaps he'll get involved again, Totana. Perhaps under your orders.
As I've said many times, I don't give orders to anyone, whether they be under my, contracted myself or otherwise.
I mean, we've talked previously about the potential of you being in some way connected to Dexter Lumis, the man that clearly has a problem with Jeff Hardy. Nothing's ever come of those conversations.
Oh, I'm definitely connected to Dexter Lumis. He's under my umbrella. However, I'm not the one that pulls the strings there. I provide a platform. Lumis makes of it what he
So
will.
it could be perhaps, potentially, purportedly, that Breeze and Fandango, again the camera panning to Fandango there as Jeff Hardy attempts a pinfall. Just to remind you, he's in the corner of Tyler Breeze, he's there, he's in the wings waiting. It could be, potentially, Totana, that Breezango are working alongside Dexter Lumis, but not necessarily under what you have going on.
I in the world of professional wrestling, never say never.
And in the world
I'll be keeping a close eye on this match, definitely. But, it's not like I've said to Breezango to go out and make Jeff Hardy's life a misery or anything of that ilk.
Very likely. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up later on in this programming, we have the Faces of Fear on a roll here in RWF since debuting, taking on Beer Money Inc., the former challengers, the former attempted inaugural World Tag Team Champions in a doubles match. And in our main event, a rematch from the semi-finals of our women's title crowning tournament as GAIL Kim takes on Bull Nakano, where I'm sure we will also see your opponent in the ring of managerialdom, Totana, in Sam Douglas, who is, I believe now officially the representative of Bull Nakano.
Oh, well done. Bull Nakano is a fantastic athlete. Some of his other signings I'd say are questionable, but I'm not going to question that one. That is a good signing to have.
Jeff Hardy there with a Texas Cloverleaf submission maneuver, staring right at Fandango as he puts the move on Tyler Breeze, letting him know he's got an eye on him. Doesn't work out totally as Tyler Breeze has turned it around and now has locked in a single leg ankle and knee submission maneuver. Jeff Hardy backs him off towards left hand side, a chop to the chest and a jawbreaker from Breeze takes Hardy down. Doesn't go for the cover, instead helps him back up. We've already seen this matchup Breeze go for several high flying maneuvers as he attempts a drop kick there, none of which going his way. Camel clutch now locked in. Again, a reminder, Fandango is on the outside, may try and get involved at any time, but referee Aubrey Edwards is a professional, and I'm sure Totana you'd agree, someone you wouldn't want to mess with. As Tyler Breeze rolls up Jeff Hardy, less than a one count.
Definitely not. Going back to what you were mentioning, Breeze has obviously went for quite a few high flying moves.
Incredible monkey
Beautiful
flip
monkey
there.
toss is one of them. We've also seen him focusing on that jaw and on the legs of Jeff Hardy, and I think that's something that'll be important there on the match when Jeff starts to go for some of those more high-flying manoeuvres of his own. If he doesn't have the base there, he's going to struggle to get up and deliver that, world-famous Swanton bomb.
Enziguri from Tyler Breeze takes down Jeff Hardy as he attempts to move off the ropes. Hardy gets back to his feet, throws Tyler himself and hits an arm drag, really focusing on this Texas Cloverleaf and keeping his eye on Fandango, almost though Hardy's trying to conserve his energy for a potential double team attack later on the match. that Texas Cloverleaf is not a maneuver we've seen him use in past matches. Totana, an amazing cover here by Tyler Breeze, almost gets a 2
Beautiful
count.
crucifix there. I mean, you've got to give kudos to Jeff. He's been in the business a long time, knows when you have opponents like this with someone on the outside, keeping an eye on them is very important. So he's showing that veteran quality.
He's
there.
diversifying his moveset with a lot of lower back. Oh, submission maneuvers. Tyler Breeze runs into the corner. Jeff Hardy dodges. Breeze counters himself with yet another crucifix pinning maneuver, but Hardy too close to the ropes. Aubrey Edwards breaks it up again. Just as you said, Hardy, more of the veteran in this matchup, knows to pull Breeze away from the corner in order to make a submission hold and create some distance between them and Breezango on the outside. Sorry, Fandango on the outside.
I think that's why he felt safe to not keep an eye on Fandango there. He was far enough away, opposite side of the ring. He would hear him travelling across the mats. These aren't padded mats, you know, it is planks of wood. It's very hard to be quiet on that mat. But I think, what a beautiful DDT there from Tyler Breeze.
Finally hits that.
And you're starting to see
standing
that.
drop
And
kick.
back to what I was going to mention is perhaps the reason that Hardy is diversifying his portfolio, using a lot more of these, you know, holds and submissions, is possibly because of his age and the toll that this, you know, his style has had on his body. Can he continue to do those high risk maneuvers when it will have taken its toll?
Tyler Breeze letting Hardy get back to his feet, but because he had a very well timed and well placed mid rope drop kick, tight deep cover, but Hardy manages to get his way out, hitting his patented face breaker off the mat, followed by a spinning heel kick, takes down Breeze in the corner. Hardy coming off the ropes, Breeze back up, but a bulldog hit by the veteran Jeff Hardy.
I think we do have to consider, obviously, Tyler Breeze started off as more of a singles competitor, but moved into that more tag team
You
role,
mentioned that as though
whereas
Hardy didn't do the same.
I was going to mention that Hardy did the opposite. Hardy started off as, you know, a lot of his career as a successful tag team, and then transitioned into being a very successful singles competitor.
We've just seen Hardy attempt the Swanton Bomb. Not sure if he got all of it. Definitely didn't get the full thing. Tyler Breeze becomes the first person in RWF to kick out of Hardy's Swanton Bomb. It might just be the fact that Hardy is trying to go for the win early on. He doesn't want Fandango interfering, but he's now done enough damage to himself that Tyler Breeze can hit that super kick. Hardy's been...
Now you got to ask the question, if Hardy had hooked the leg, would he have got the 3 count there?
It's possible.
Would that have made the difference?
It's possible. I think something has to be said for the fact that Tyler Breeze with a spinning heel kick to the back of Hardy's head. That's a knockout.
What a victory for Breeze.
I was about to mention, ladies and gentlemen, Hardy has been in some difficult matches in recent weeks. He has been attacked from behind by Dexter Lumis, attacked by Breezango, still rumoured to be your client's Totana. I'm not letting you get away from that.
Right, let me clear this up. Okay, I wasn't ready to announce it just yet, but yes, okay, Breezango are one of the latest signings to the Totana brand. However, as I have said time and time again, I do not pull the strings for my clients. I provide them a platform. I provide them the knowledge that I have. They're the ones that make the statements.
One of Totana, are you implying that there's more new signings to the Totana brand that we should be wary of?
I think that's mentioning. There's 2 of them: Breezango, Tyler Breeze, Fandango. That's all I'm alluding
Rumours
to.
still swirl about John Morrison. I'm sure we'll see it in the coming weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a slight break where you will be introduced to the newest member of the RWF team. Stay tuned, we've got tag team action coming up next.
Oh, you thought I meant this week? No. Your new friend will arrive when he feels like it. Perhaps December 12th at your winter plunderland.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our second matchup of the evening. Tag team action between the Honor Roll Faces of Fear entering the ring now. Haku and the Warlords taking on Beer Money Inc. Tutana, no stake in this one, unlike the match earlier. Who would your money be on?
I'd have to go for the Faces of Fear. Looking at the track records of both sets of competitors, I think Faces of Fear have a size advantage. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Faces of Fear here.
Cowboy James Storm and the glorious Bobby Roode entering the ring now. As you mentioned, Sultana, they are 1 and 3 here in the RWF. My calculation is correct. All three losses coming at the hands of the current reigning RWF Tag Team Champions, the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. Can they get a second? Again, my calculations may be off. Perhaps first win here. An impressive start from Bobby Roode, throwing the Warlord over his own head. Some big, meaty men in this ring tonight, Tutana.
Definitely, there's something to be said when you've got a ring full of just so much beef, and that's what we have here. We've just got two bulky men just throwing weight around. It's going to be
Warlord
great.
with a low headbutt there to the lower abdomen, perhaps lower than that on Bobby Roode. The discretion of referee Aubrey Edwards as to whether or not that counts as disqualification. I believe she will allow 3 strikes. Bear hug attempt there by Haku, just he gets tagged in on Bobby Roode, but too close to the rope, says referee Aubrey Edwards, forcing a break. Haku to the outside from Bobby Roode, gets back in before count of 2.
Straight back in though.
Ring awareness from the veterans. We've talked in previous weeks as a tight submission hold locked in by Haku, again too close to the ropes for Bobby Roode. We've talked previously about how Beer Money Inc. should have been the favourites in that tag team feud with the Natural Disasters, having over 40 titles between the two of them, but it has to be acknowledged that the veterans of this sport are definitely the Faces of Fear between these two teams.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it goes to say that just because someone's had success in the past doesn't necessarily mean that they're guaranteed success in the future. It's a good guide, but there are two teams that have never went up against each other, and that's what you get in the RWF. You get these matches that couldn't possibly happen anywhere else, and sometimes you come up against an opponent that you just don't know how to defeat, and I think that's what's happened with Beer Money Inc. They were going up against Natural Disasters, didn't know how to win.
There was a great size disadvantage for Beer Money Inc. in that series of 3 matches, going 0-3. Perhaps against the Faces of Fear it's a little bit more even. Warlord pulling out some impressive manoeuvres. Ultimately, inverted atomic drop is what hits for him. Missing strikes left, right and centre. Goes to tag in Haku. 2 of them double team manoeuvre. Cowboy James Storm yet again. Almost like deja vu from earlier in the match, kicking both men to the floor and dragging Haku away from the ropes. Haku definitely getting the advantage here with strikes. Unlike his partner, he knows to grab the head of Storm and really cinch him in there as you hit those elbows, eye rakes, clotheslines and headbutts. There's a lot of striking action going on from Haku. James Storm, tight neck control, knows he needs to get away and tag in the slightly fresher Bobby Roode.
I would not want to be on the receiving end of those strikes.
Haku thrown into the ropes by Bobby Roode, lifts him up, almost out of the ring. Could have done some damage to the ankles of Haku there as he comes down on the ropes. Stomped to the lower leg.
Oh, indeed. I don't know about you, but when I was younger, jumped off a wall and felt the pain shooting up your legs, from 3 feet. I don't know what it would be like falling from such a height.
Face of Fear unable to get any tandem offense in. Bobby Roode throws the Warlord into his own corner. Repeated strikes to the face. Up on the second rope there. Warlord allowed to walk out the corner. Both men going for swinging strikes and missing. Face of Fear don't seem to be on the same page when it comes to tandem offense tonight. Perhaps this is where Beer Money Inc.'s longer time spent together as a team, going for about 6 to 7 years, whereas the Face of Fear only 2 or 3 in WCW. Perhaps that's where the advantage now comes.
Definitely, you have that chemistry as a tag team, and it can make all the difference.
Bobby lifting knee strike into the abdomen of the Warlord, locks him in. That's a glorious DDT, spiking him down. But Warlord straight back to his feet. You don't want to test the headbutting strength of the Warlord.
Definitely not. And I think that there must be an intimidation factor there. If you just deliver, you know, what a lot of people would consider your finishing maneuver, you know, that's it, game over, and your opponent stands up, that has to be demoralising.
Absolutely, absolutely. Haku lifted his feet by Cowboy James Storm. Lock up. Haku gets the advantage again. A lower abdomen, low area, low centre of gravity attack on the body of James Storm with an inverted atomic drop. And now the camel clutch cinched in and yanking back on that neck, on that chin, on the jawline area is Haku, really trying to do some damage. Bobby Roode gets tagged in, Haku backs off, but immediately back on the offensive against both of his opponents. Eye rakes to each side. And a massive clothesline. Bobby Roode further away from the ropes this time. And that neck submission maneuver locked in by Haku on Bobby Roode, but he manages to get free.
Bobby Roode and, you know, Cowboy James Storm are doing constant tagging in and out, but they don't seem to be benefiting from it. You know, no matter who they seem to be able to corner or you know, get in the ring, that person takes control of the fight and they're having to use their tags defensively instead of offensively.
Not a definitive double team maneuver, but a striking lariat from Haku lifts back up Bobby Roode and a chop takes down the glorious one from the Warlord. They're starting to get into their offense. You've already mentioned that Beer Money Inc. are hitting quick tags, but they've yet to even attempt a double team maneuver. While they've not been on the same page, the Faces of Fear are at least trusting in one another a little bit more, perhaps.
Definitely. I think there was a glimpse of an attempt earlier on with Beer Money Inc., but it was quickly countered by Haku. Beautiful diving elbow there from the Warlord.
You don't see the big man go up top very often, but when he does, he makes the most of it. Too close to the ropes with that stretching the back by the Warlord, allowing James Storm to get in, break up the submission, and Bobby Roode to get that standing vertical flapjack.
Definitely, like you mentioned, you don't normally see someone of the size of the Warlord going up on the top rope, but when you do, and you've got that, you know, 320 pounds coming down on you, that's got to happen.
Double Samoan drops from Haku, first on Bobby Roode, then on James Storm, drops the Cowboy, he's back to his feet, he's a bit dazed, but he still hits the spinning, twisting neck breaker on Haku, stomps on the face for good measure. He's not going to like that one.
I mean, there's a chance of that. Oh, the mandible claw!
Not a signature maneuver of one half the Face of Fear, but certainly he'll lock it in if the need must. He does it again! Reach for those ropes, James Storm. Doesn't need to. Bobby Roode immediately helping out his tag team partner and cinching in a single leg Boston Crab. Referee Aubrey Edwards will have to get him out of the ring eventually. Again, confusing time for the Faces of Fear. Sometimes it looks like they're on the same page. Times like that, the Warlord makes no attempt to get into the ring and help his partner, leaving it all up to him. Perhaps that is trust. Perhaps that is the knowledge that he won't submit to the smaller, not by much, but the smaller Beer Money Inc. team. Seemed to be a double team maneuver there. A strike with the fist of Haku and the leg of the Warlord, taking down James Storm, but he's now on the offensive, not for long, as a chop to the throat lands him on his back.
Not want to be hit with one of those devastating knife edge chops there from Warlord.
Roode manages to make the break for his tag team partner. James Storm can't get to the corner though. An impressive test of strength from Warlord, and then a clothesline straight from the depths of hell takes down James Storm. He, however, hits an incredible suplex maneuver, double underhook. Allows Warlord to get back to his feet. But an Alabama slam from James Storm. Bobby Roode clobbering the back of the head of the Warlord, but he backs off. He lets him get to the corner and tag in Haku, who's had time to rest.
I think that's one thing you've got to say about the Faces of Fear. When they have used those tags, they've been effective. You know, they've been in a situation where, you know, they know we've taken some damage, let's get out, let's rest up. Whereas with Beer Money Inc., it's been constant tags, sort of getting the fresh man in. They don't have as much time to rest on the outside, but the offense has also suffered. Still,
again, we see there James Storm coming in to break the camel clutch submission. Warlord doesn't look that pressed on the outside. Elevated cutter from Bobby Roode on Haku. But a mandible claw yet again. He's really trying to add insult to injury and end this match on a submission maneuver. That's the last call from James Storm on the Warlord. He doesn't break the submission, but he sure as hell takes down the assist for Haku. Perhaps buying enough time for Bobby Roode. A headbutt and another submission maneuver locked in. Could this be it for the glorious one? Warlord spending more time.
One needs to reach for the ropes.
More time flexing and
Manages
doing
to get
damage.
out.
Would you want to see? We've mentioned December 12th, December 12th, December 12th, Winter Plunderland. Winter is coming here at the RWF Totana. One of these teams could go on to face the Natural Disasters for the tag team titles. Likely not Beer Money Inc., given their disastrous results in the past, but with moves like that AA from Bobby Roode, perhaps they can impress management enough to let them have a fourth shot against the current champions, and with double team maneuvers, driving while investigating. James Storm flexing there, not going for the cover, perhaps another last call, reversed into a headbutt.
That could be the mistake. I think I would love to see the Faces of Fear go up against the Natural Disasters. The referee is down.
Perhaps this is time Beer Money Inc. take advantage with beer bottles outside. The referee's not just down. Referee Aubrey Edwards has been busted open on the skull of the Warlord.
A lesser referee would have been down for a week, but not Aubrey Edwards.
Aubrey Edwards gets the cover. Is that a fast count from Aubrey Edwards? No. 2.9. You can see the blood pooling at her temples. Submission maneuver of Haku on Bobby Roode, but it's not legal. Neither is it legally been tagged in. Warlord takes down James Storm, a running, diving headbutt, but still Storm gets up, double team from the Face of Fear, reversed again. They just can't seem to lock them in. James Storm dragging Haku back to his own corner, tight cover, he's trying to finish it here. Still
a very ambitious pin there.
A tight, perfect plex bridging cover from Bobby Roode, but again, not the legal men. Enziguri takedown from James Storm on Haku, locks up with him. Again, double underhook. Northern Lights doesn't go for the cover. Lets Haku get up and a super kick, high kick to the face, whatever you want to call it, takes down the Cowboy, if only for a moment. This is the time, Totana, they're trading strikes.
You don't want to get into a striking match with Haku.
You don't want to with a drinking Cowboy either. And James Storm with the last call drops Haku, allows Bobby Roode to get in, picks him back up, knife edge chop. Bobby Roode's being asked to finish it out, but Haku, oh, sit out powerbomb. Broken up by James Storm. I would love to see these men fight forever. Both Beer Money Inc. coming off the ropes. Warlord finally makes a save for Haku, getting in the way of Bobby Roode's offense. That perfect plex hit now. Fisherman suplex into a deep cover. Broken up by the Warlord.
The Warlord saving it there for his team.
Twice in a row takes down, 3 times even, takes out Bobby Roode in the attempted maneuver. He hits the Fisherman, he breaks up the pinfall, he hits him again. I'd say that's too close to the ropes, referee. Surely Bobby Roode's arm was underneath the bottom rope there.
From the angle that we're sitting at, it may have looked, but Aubrey Edwards was a lot closer to the action. Probably could see it was.
Aubrey Edwards possibly even concussed following the collision with Warlord. No idea, ladies and gentlemen, but it is being announced. That is correct. December 12th at Winter Plunderland, the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon, taking on the Faces of Fear in a brutal tag team contest. We will have more details on that in the coming weeks, but it might be one of the few straightforward catch-as-can matchups we have on the card, Totana. Does that excite you? Does that boil your blood? Or would you rather see Breezango in that position?
It does indeed. What date was that again, so I can add it to my calendar?
You're already contractually obliged to be there.
There we go.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take another short break where I believe we'll be hearing from Sam Douglas of Sam Douglas Management prior to his charges match in the main event. That'll be Bull Nakano versus GAIL Kim. We'll see you there.
Here's a little something different for you folks.
With a tear in my eye. Off. With a crease under my eye, I come to you tired as hell of the bushwhackers of all teams, of Totana slandering me on commentary, of my various clientele not being booked in goddamn matches by the RWF, with a crease under my eye and a tear in the hearts of fans everywhere. We're not done with you bushwhackers. The Hollywood Blondes have more coming your way. And we're not done with RWF. Blood will be shed on the dotted line. Why? Because I am the resounding manager. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our main event of the evening. This is GAIL Kim taking on Sam Douglas, although I'm sure he'll let you know. Bull Nakano. A rematch of their semi-final contest, which saw Bull Nakano coming out on top and going to the finals of our women's second round tournament to face the current champion, Awesome Kong.
I thought for a moment you were going to say it was GAIL Kim versus Sam Douglas. At which point my money was firmly on GAIL
Sam
Kim.
Douglas would never get
but this was a great match first time round. I expect nothing less. Two absolute legends in the ring.
I'd say it'd be hard to outdo our match, the tag match earlier on, ladies and gentlemen, but with these two women, I'm sure it can be done. Test of strength and then an ankle lock takedown by GAIL Kim. Standing switch by Bull Nakano into a back suplex. GAIL Kim locks up, elbow to the throat. We've seen that injure Abaddon on AEW television in recent weeks. Clearly trying to go for an early win is GAIL Kim.
I think when you have someone like Bull Nakano, though, she's just a bit more sturdily built. It's not to say anything against, people of a slimmer stature, but there is something to be said about having just a little bit extra weight to help protect the body.
All around, absolutely, as well, to just execute stronger maneuvers. If she leans back further on that single leg Boston Crab, the weight not only allows her further movement, further momentum with the wrenching of the leg, but also is more pressure on the lower back of GAIL Kim. An excellent point to be made.
Indeed. Oh, wonderful manoeuvre there from GAIL Kim.
We mentioned that these two met in the semi-finals. Bull Nakano going on to lose to Awesome Kong. GAIL Kim, do we think she would have a better chance against the reigning RWF Women's Champion if she met her at December 12th's Winter Plunderland?
They have history in the past. I think if anyone knows GAIL Kim, if anyone knows Awesome Kong, it's GAIL Kim. And I think, she's had the history there. She can scout, she can go into that match with a lot more information than Bull Nakano did.
Absolutely, trading strikes back and forth are the two in the middle of the ring. Bull Nakano's getting pushed back towards the blue corner. GAIL Kim standing her ground, drops the larger opponent. We were mentioning size advantage for Bull Nakano earlier. Great to see as well that Aubrey Edwards has recovered after that last match. She's less bloodied. She's in this ring again. Good to see. Happy to see. Bull Nakano's size advantage, weight advantage, doubly assists her with that impressive finishing maneuver we've seen recently. That diving forward flip leg lariat attack to a downed opponent inside the ring. She's used it to great effect in previous matchups against the like of Jamie Hayter, who we'll see on next week's programming. She's also got a violent streak like this. She can be beautiful in the sky, but she can also ram her head down to the ground. All of these influenced by, as you mentioned, just a massive size advantage on the part of Bull Nakano.
Definitely. Back to what you were mentioning with regards to Aubrey Edwards. I've received information that when she went backstage, she passed all tests and they were just surface wounds. And as you know, when your adrenaline's up, wounds to the head, they bleed like anything. So we're
moving very quickly all over the ring, Totana. I don't know if you noticed it as I did there.
I did indeed. She is
rapid.
Flight of
whatever the first aiders backstage have given her, she's definitely moving a bit quicker now.
She is, from what I've heard, she took a couple of Tylenol for our American viewers, or paracetamol, as we would call it back here.
A deep-seated camel clutch with the arms wrapped up as well from Bull Nakano, but Gail Kim just manages to get out. Standing Hurricane Rana takes down the larger opponent. That's the problem with that weight advantage. If you chop down the legs of the tree, you can swing it around as much as you like, as Paul Bunyan said! Speaking of swinging.
Definitely, and Bull Nakano, she isn't the tallest competitor. She has that slightly lower centre of gravity than someone of, say, Awesome Kong stature. And Gail Kim has experience of going up against that larger opponent, so when you move that centre of gravity, momentum's on your side.
Gail Kim throws Awesome Kong, sorry, my apologies, throws Bull Nakano off the ropes, brings her back for a head scissor takedown. Jumping DDT from Bull Nakano immediately resets the board. She's going for that swing-like submission maneuver we've seen before. That does damage to the upper shoulders, to the legs as you're holding on for dear life, and it just utterly discombobulates the opponent in the ring, Totana.
Definitely. It also makes it incredibly hard to breathe because you're using the opponent's weight against them as you're wrenching in that arm. It's pulling back on the shoulders, very similar to a crucifix. When you've got that expansion in the chest, you can't take a deep breath in, and when you have no breath, you have no power.
Gail Kim appeared to be going for some strikes, some movements to try and avoid Bull Nakano, but ultimately got taken down from impressive suplex maneuvers. A brave cover here following only a neck breaker. I'm not sure if you saw it last week, Totana. We had the debut of a new future main event talent here in RWF. As Gail Kim goes top rope, diving splash for a cover. 1, 2, not the full 3. We had the debut in John Cena's Open Challenge. Another cover by Gail Kim. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. RWF Men's World Champion John Cena came out, offered an open challenge, I should say, not for the belt, but just to anyone in the back. He wanted screen time. He wanted to give screen time to the people out there. And a debut in RWF of two-time Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, unfortunately losing to the greatest of competition we have in RWF, our Men's World Champion. Did you catch the match? You were absent from last week. What were your thoughts?
I did. I managed to catch it later on R-CADE's Patreon. A wonderful match. Fitting match that Kurt Angle's debut would be against none other than John Cena, the man that John Cena made his debut to in a different company.
While we've been talking, ladies and gentlemen, Gail Kim has hit her finishing maneuver, the defeat, but clearly the damage has been done. Both women on the ground for 3 seconds, but neither of them made a cover. Both rise to their feet at the same time. Bull Nakano's had less damage done. Gail Kim going for another pinfall attempt, finally, after having hit that finisher. 2.9.
Definitely made the difference there. Previous pin attempts going at the 2-second mark. That just shy of that 3 count. Definitely done some damage.
We've seen Bull Nakano try this before. You saw a chair strike there, ladies and gentlemen. Weapon moves in the RWF are to the discretion of the referee. She doesn't want to take away from your enjoyment of the match. Same with ring out count. It is a 20 count by default, but it is up to the referee's discretion. Bull Nakano makes it in before 10. Gail Kim just after, but again 20 ring out count. Abdominal damage done to Gail Kim. Bull Nakano sensing she might not be able to get it done on brute strength alone.
It's also a matter of pride to a wrestler. Yes, they want the victory. They do not want it to be because the opponent has done something. They want it to be off their own merit. And I think that just shows a sign of respect between the referee and the competitors. When the referee looks, sees an illegal maneuver like that, but decides, actually no, this person wants to continue the fight, I will allow it to go on.
Kim with a Piper's Pit, taking down Bull Nakano right on the top of her shoulders, picks her back up, she's dazed. Into the corner goes Bull Nakano. Gail Kim not rushing, allows Bull Nakano to get back out. She needed to take her own time, but now she's stuck in the corner. Swinging neck breaker from Gail Kim. Gail Kim could be the hero to vanquish the villains of RWF. Perhaps in the women's division. Another roll up from Gail Kim, going for the cover. 3 count! She manages to get the win, ladies and gentlemen. She kept going back that well time and time again, but ultimately too deep-seated on Bull Nakano.
Definitely, and I think that was just the culmination of all of those head strikes, all of those neck strikes, wearing down the opponent, so when she eventually get that deep-seated roll-up, she gets the win.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. An excellent night of action here in RWF. I have already mentioned we will be seeing Jamie Hayter in action next week. We will have tag team action next week, all in the run-up to December 12th's Winter Plunderland. We hope that you enjoyed your evening. We hope that you subscribe to R-CADE Glasgow's Patreon, to R-CADE Glasgow's YouTube, to R-CADE Glasgow on all Twitch channels. We also hope that you subscribe to my commentary partner, twitch.tv// my apologies, Totana. Most importantly, we hope you enjoyed your evening. Have a great night.
Love you, bye.